Memo akwa babie mediba Kodan Academy. Ene se yetwa Linux addition isu no. Ye ba behwe bibia ya to den system awareness. Nti se ekase system awareness a system na yedidi dwuma no. Ansa na yebetumi edi dwuma bia wo sa system no so ana set computer no so no. E wo se ye hu username a ye use e wo system no so. E wo se ye hu sa system no edin a ye de ama no. Na the kind of system we are working on. So before you do anything on the Ubuntu server, you must first of all confirm the username, confirm the machine name, and also know the type of system you are on before you run any command. We getting to know the system that we are dealing with now. We have some group of commands that we run, and this group of commands we term them as system awareness commands. This is system awareness commands. These commands tell us information about our user account and then the computer that we are dealing with. So we use these commands to check our username. We use these commands to check the machine name and also to know the kind of system or the computer that we are dealing with. So use these commands to know exactly where you are before doing anything else. So answer no be running any other command, you must get to know the system that you are dealing with. And what are these commands? Command that edikan who am I? Who am I? Who am I command the you see who am I command the edit check the username that you are using on the system. So checks who you are on the system. So our system is a dim na you as user now while logging into the system. A dim na we use our system. So I know that you see who am I edit check. So checks who you are on the system. Print the username of the currently logged in user. Me call Linux server isua. Met me about who am I? Tisa me bo who am I command where I will say who am I command the to me and mommy the username that I am using on this Ubuntu server. To me bo enter. I bet you say sa server we no a dia username I use e was so Kodan. I didn't and we here say I was say me to me check who am I on the system. So who you are on the system determines the operations that you can perform on the system. In the end, say maybe I will check here and we say we are regular user. Then we have operations that the regular user can perform. We have other operations that operations are assigned to the root user. Who am I? No, who the result as root. Me bo who am I? Mimi who Kodan ewaha. Na ebia me bo who am I? No me who Kodan, but the me who ye root. So me bo sudo who am I? Ti ebetre me na me bo me password. Me bo enter. Oh sorry. Okay, we am actually me say me root. So sudo who am I no e ma me result as root. Nti ye hwe root ebetumi performing more operations than a regular user Kodan. Kodan a regular user. Me bo who am I? Na me who Kodan it means I have logged in just as a regular user. Baby, I'm about who am I? No me who router. It means I am the root user of the system. I have logged in as the root user. So therefore, I have more privileges than a regular user. Who you are on the system determines the operations that you can perform on the system. Whenever you log in into any Ubuntu server, the first thing that you are supposed to do is to check who you are on the system. Command etosu mienu host name. So host name refers to the identity or name of a machine on a network. Host name it refers to the name that has been assigned to the Ubuntu server. So me bo host name me server we host name. I bet you say sa server we edin a ye de ama no Ubuntu server. And the side din way na say ABI connect server to a network ebe you see sa edin way they are communicating with other computers that will also be part of the network. So host name refers to the identity or name of a machine on a network. The host name now, it displays the name of the computer or system that we are currently using. So the host name, when we type the host name, it displays the name of the computer or the system that we are currently using. So metimi abo host name -i di yebehwe networking na ya TBB a ye friend IP address ase. Every computer bi a connected to a network no use special number for identification so that it can use that number to communicate to other computers that are on the system. Nti ye lesson we are ye be jump into introduction to computer networking so that you understand how IP addresses are used by computers to be able to communicate. And this person who the IP address that has been assigned to Ubuntu server where which remember host name capital I to me host name capital I be the IP address a special number that is given to computers that connect to a network so that they can be able to talk to themselves or to be able to share resources or to be able to communicate. The host name identifies the system name that we are using or the computer name or the computer that you are currently using. The whoami, check how you have logged in the username that you are using on the system or who you are on the system. Now we are able host name so check the machine name. What name has been given to the machine? Question na baby son say identity kra na hu hia say e was say always you check host name and I say run a command host name. The etienne say DevOps engineers do not always work on one Ubuntu server. So in real world environment, DevOps or ethical hackers rarely work on just one machine. So they do not always work on just one computer. They work on multiple servers. This is who logging in. You must know the kind of server that you are working or you are currently on. And we here say always, I will say we use the host name command to check the kind of system that you are working on. In DevOps, server management or servers may be named web server 01, DB server 02, or backup node. Use host name to know the role of the machine. So ebiana sa server we ye dedicate as a web server. Ebia ye another server so and also juma soronko na ye dedicate amasa server no. Then we have another server and no we use it as backup. Nti what this server is doing, what the other server is also doing, we keep all their backups on another server. Nti when you log in, you must know the kind of server that you are on. And yes, sir, you will start running commands that are supposed not to be run on that particular server. So to prevent executing commands on wrong systems, you must always check to know the kind of system you are currently on. So for these reasons, you must always know the kind of system that you are on before you start executing commands. Abra share command host name awie ni yan share the next command that ya to the uname. Uname no ejina oma Unix name. Now you see uname we at the print basic system information. So the system that we are using, what kind of system is it? Kernel ben AUC, architecture ben system no deal with. What type of operating system is the system or the machine or the server even running? And to get all this information, you use command uname to get this basic system information. So use uname to print basic system information about the Linux operating system. Say a kernel name on say with a computer system we have hardware, then we have software. So software no acquire to say me say the various apps na running our computer national. So the apps that are on the system talks to the hardware component. But the etienne say the apps do not talk to the hardware component directly. you build this special type of software called kernel. So the kernel directly talks to the hardware component. So whenever we run any app, that app has to pass through the kernel. So various apps that we have do not normally directly talk to the hardware component. They pass through the kernel. So the kernel, no, we can use uname to check which type of kernel is the system running. And architecture, no, we deal with different types of processors. So we have 64-bit processors, and then we have 32-bit processors. This system no run a 64-bit processor. Then what happens is we cannot download an app. The apps now you developing we develop apps for 64-bit processors. Then we develop apps for 32-bit processors. So what happens is that we cannot download 64-bit processor app that is built to run on 64-bit processors for 32-bit processors. So we can't download apps or softwares that are built to be run on 64-bit systems and then run them on 32-bit systems. Whenever we are going to download any apps, we need to check the system or the hardware architecture. What type of processor is the system running? So we check the machine hardware architecture. So the type of processor the machine is running, and then the machine architecture. Now, the type of operating system that we are running. So with Linux, with Linux operating system, we have different types of them. So what type of operating system is running on this particular computer or on this server? Nti say you check sa nyoma we nyina no ye hunu say all these details are related to the computer itself. Say you better computer na system na ya connected to no asi the kind of system that we are dealing with. So we use the uname to print basic system information. So uname gives you system related information. The yanko the Ubuntu server no so. Na mamembo man uname. Na membo enter. So me bo man uname man command no printing information about the uname command and then how to use the uname command. So uname print system information. If we want all the information about the system, you better type uname near man flag -a. But you perceive the type of kernel that the system is using, and you better uname near man -s. Now you perceive the version of kernel that we are running. We use -v. Then you perceive the machine architecture, or the system architecture. You may use -m and as a -p. Then if we want to know the type of operating system that we are running, we use -o. Let's type the uname with some of these flags to know the kind of system that we are dealing with. To exit from the manual page, I will press Q and then type the clear command to clear my screen. This mean person may you see the manual page in this one. Make to me I type uname -help to get details about the usage of the uname command. So print certain system information. So me person me print it or as we saw from the manual page, you can give -a. Yepe kernel name I bet me you see -s. Yepe the type of processor you can use -p. So let's try the kernel name. So with this one, I will type uname and it says -s. Remember -s. Me bo -s number enter. I bet you say the kernel name is what? Is Linux. Then me person me who the type of processor that this computer is running. Remember uname -p. So -p am me the type of processor. To me boy I be say am me x84_64. So we actually me say this type of system no run a 64-bit processor. Architecture no that processor type when you friend the architecture of the system. The architecture of the system also determines the kind of softwares that can be downloaded and then installed on the system. We have the 32-bit processor, then we have the 64-bit processor. And if you want to download any software online, the type of processor that you are having influences or tells the kind of software that you can download and then install on the system, or it tells the kind of software that can work on the system. You always use uname-p to check the system type before you download softwares. Ebiana yemfa say me pese me download the Visual Studio Code. Pese me download the Visual Studio Code. Say me back Visual Studio Code ya. We have versions for different operating systems. We have Windows operating system. Then we have .deb. So this is for the Linux version. So .deb.rpm. So we have versions for the Linux. So who person will download it for Linux? When we come down here, we have the architecture type here. To show we are 64-bit. So if I want to download this software, then I will come and download for 64-bit. I will not download the other type. So I will just go straight to the 64-bit and then download it, because my system run a 64-bit processor type. See, my main claim is check the type of operating system that we are using. So with the type of operating system, we type uname-o. Now me boy enter. I bet you I am running GNU Linux. See, whenever you need system information about the system that you are using, we run to the uname command, or we use the uname command. Okay, another command that you become the uptime command. The uptime command. That command we very important. You see that command we check it. One, how long the system has been running. You see this command that they check the number of users who have logged into the system. Number of users who have logged into the system. Then we also use it to check the system load. The system load, refers to how busy the CPU is. So the central processing unit, how busy is the central processing unit? We use the uptime command to check all these details. How long has the system been running? Number of users who have logged in, and then the system load. How busy is the CPU? So when we go back to the Ubuntu server, let me go uptime. Say about uptime in our near results we are. It gives us the current time. It gives us the number of days the system has been running, the hours that it has been running, then the minutes it has been running. The system we are. It has been running for 1 day, 13 hours, 38 minutes. So it has been up for 1 day, 13 hours, and then 38 minutes. How many users have logged into this system? I had only one user, because I'm logging into this particular system. So this Ubuntu server is running on my local computer. So I am the only person who has logged in. So Obi and logging in then the users will change from 1 to 2. There will load average, So the load average, and Amika said it talks about how busy the CPU is. So uptime command, and also Juma AD, giving us how long the system has been running, the number of users who have logged into the system, then the system load, referring to how busy the CPU is. So we always use this command to check the system stability. And the young say ABI checking who say that system where it has run for so many days. Maybe it has run for, let's say it has run for 465 days, which means that the system is very stable and it keeps running without any problem. So we use the uptime command to check the system stability and also to perform quick health check.